Welcome to Sequim Real Estate Questions and Answers. I'm Chuck Marunde. Tonight I want to show you some really great sites that are free online resources if you want to do more research on a property. If you're in the MLS, you find a parcel of land or a home and you want to learn more about it, you're going to love these sites. The URLs are really long government URLs. You could never possibly memorize them, so I'll include them below this video. Let's get to it. The first site I want to show you is Squim-Homes.com. This is a great local, very accurate MLS site for the Sequim area. You can use Zillow and other syndicated sites if you want to. But when you get done fooling around with those sites or you find a home you like and you want to make sure the information that you're looking at is accurate, I designed and programmed this site. It pulls all of the data from the actual listing agents, so it's 100% accurate. And it'll show you the status of the listing updated every hour. So this is a great site to use if you're looking at homes and you're trying to narrow down the one you want to do research on. This site is the Sequim and Port Angeles, or the Clallam County Treasurer's Office site. It's fantastic because you can pull up a lot of information here. I want to show you, and I'm just going to pull up properties on a street named Jones Farm, which is in a new development on the east end of Sequim. And I'm going to go randomly down to a property here of a house that appears to be a brand new house or nearly new. And this is great because it shows you up here the tax parcel number. And by the way, for research purposes, you want to remember this, that you can only use the first 12 numbers when you're copying and pasting into other sites for research, okay? The first 12 numbers. You have to ignore the extra zeros at the end for purposes of research and copying pasting in special sites here in Clallam County. Now, if we scroll down, you can learn a lot more about the property. There's the tax assessed value and the annual taxes. But I want to show you something in particular. Right here is the deed number and the date of the sale. So you can see that in the deed number itself, it shows the year 2017. And so if you copy that, and let's do that right now. I'm going to go copy. I want to show you what you can do with that number. You can go to another site right here. This is also a Clallam County site. It's the auditor's office where all recorded documents reside, at least in a digital form. And if we paste that number in right there, as you can see up here, now make sure that there's a dash after the year. Hit search and watch this. Voila. What do we get? We get the statutory warranty deed. And over here, you can actually open it up where it says View Attachment. I know I'm moving very quickly here, but I want to show you this, and you can rewatch this video or slow it down or replay it. Click Download PDF, and I'm going to enlarge that so we can see it better. And this shows you the actual statutory warranty deed on that property. Why are we looking at this? Because the legal description, which you'll see is attached as Exhibit A, will include some really good information. This is going to help you do more research on the property. Notice that you'll see covenants and easements and all kinds of references to other documents that are on the record for this property. So, for example, if we come down and we're looking for the covenants. Here is what appears to be some covenants with a number, and I'm going to take this number right here. This is a recording number. I'm going to copy that recording number. Now watch what I do with it, because what I'm really trying to do is get to the covenants. I want to find the covenants and see what the restrictions are in them on this property. And here's where we go back to the county auditor's website, and we paste that number right in here like that. And watch what we get. We get an amendment to the covenants. So if we pull up those covenants, again, we can go over here in the left-hand side where it says View Attachment, and it'll pull up that page where we can then hit Download PDF right here. I'm going to enlarge that. And look at this. the Second Amendment to the Declaration of Covenants, the CC&Rs. So this is how you find covenants. Now, I'm not saying every property is going to be easy to find covenants like this. Notice that it was a rather labyrinthian process. I know how to do this because I was a lawyer and I've been doing this for many years. Most people wouldn't know how to find these covenants, and it might take a title company to find them for you. But if you follow this process, you sometimes can find the covenants. Now, having been quite familiar and drafted many covenants, I can tell you most of this is going to be boilerplate right here. What we're really interested in are the restrictions on this property, right? So I would jump all the way down. If I were looking at this for some clients, I would jump all the way down to, beyond the boilerplate, to use restrictions. And here we are. Now it tells us that these parcels shall be used only for residential purposes, single-family homes, and then here's restrictions on signs, and you can see that. Animals. No animals shall be kept on any parcel except for dogs or cats or other household pets. It goes into other restrictions about trash and rubbish, offensive or not. There's all kinds of information in here that can help you understand what kind of restrictions there are. And this helps too, because sometimes people are asking questions like, well, can I have chickens? Okay. Now you know how to find a statutory warranty deed. And from that Exhibit A legal description of the statutory warranty deed, you can find recording numbers, and then you can go back to the auditor's office and look those documents up. Isn't that something? Now I want to show you another fantastic site. If you come to this site, it'll show you all of the property information, including the building permit and so on. Now I'm going to pull up the tax parcel number of my house, for example, and I'm going to paste that tax parcel number. And remember, I just took the first 12 digits. Over here, then you have a hot link, which is the tax parcel number, and it'll take you to this information. Now, this is great because it'll show all of the information going back to the building permit and the septic system and the whole history. Now, there's not a lot of history on this particular property, but many of these links are hot links, so you can actually click on these things. Like if we click on the building link, building permit file, it'll pull up more information, dates and other information on that. That's very helpful. A lot of these links are hot. You can play around with this if you're looking at a property. There's also links up here for maps. So for example, here's Zoom on multi-purpose map. And if you go to that, you say, okay, yes, I understand. Thank you very much. There's more information right here in this little pop-up menu, but it shows my parcel right here. And by the way, there are layers. If you go up here in the top right corner and click on layers, you'll see that you can also pull up more information. Here's, let's click on photo terrain background and watch what happens. Aha, look at that, a nice satellite type of view. So it's great that the county provides this kind of information, and this is my property right here. You'll also see some other options over here. If we go to parcel labels and we open up the subdirectories, you can click on the owner and up pops my name, Marunde. Look at that. Is that cool? You can also click on this box here for the estimated acreage. And then, boom, look at that, 2.65 acres. Isn't that cool? And there's an address number here. That actually pulls up the address number 125. And this is a great resource online also. If you're wondering if a property is within the water management area, this will show you, and this says Dungeness Water Rule Area. So yes, this parcel is in the governed by the Dungeness Water Rules. The next popular resource online, which you already know about, but I just want to mention it, is Google Maps. And so you can type in an address over here and pull up a Google map, and you can see a lot of information right there, including the satellite view if you want to. And don't forget, you can also, there's a lot of information available on these sites. This is my property again at 125 Olympic Ranch Lane. you can measure distances on this simple Google map too. So I want to show you something. Over here on Kitchen Dick Road, there's a tower, a Verizon tower, one of those mini towers, right where I have my pointer here. And so I'm going to measure the distance from there. It says, I hit mouse click, right mouse click. I'm going to hit measure distance, and then I'm going to come over here to my house. Well, if you notice, it says 1,000 feet to that point and 1,473 feet to my house from that Verizon mini tower. So anyway, if you want to measure things like that, or you can measure anything else on the map too, that's a great little tool. Now, don't forget, there is such thing as Google Earth, and Google Earth is very helpful. I'll include the link for this below. You may be familiar with this, but again, you can include, for example, an address up here, 125 Olympic Ranch. Oh, we got to spell that right. Ranch Lane, Squim, Washington. I'll just click on that. And as you may know, it zooms right into this property location. Wow, is that cool or what? And then you can do all kinds of things with this map system. And I won't go into detail with that now. 2D, 3D, you can measure, you can do all kinds of things. And I want to tell you about another resource that can be very helpful. If you are buying property anywhere on a bluff, you can do a Google search for Squim Bluff Stability. And right at the top here is an article called How to Research Bluff Stability Online. If you click on that, it's an article I wrote with a detailed video showing you exactly how to use Google Earth to do research on any bluff. In addition, I show you in that video a special state website which will allow you to examine bluff stability with photographs and other data. So that's a helpful resource. And don't forget, there's some great sites on here if you want to look at earthquakes, West Coast earthquakes. We've got the San Andreas Fault coming up, and then, of course, in Washington, the Cascadia subduction zone. And then here's a great earthquake, 3D earthquake website. It's really fun to use. You can look at earthquakes all over the world. And then again, I'll include the link below that. Well, that was a lot of information in a very short period of time. I hope you find it useful. Know that if you do hire me as your Sequim Buyers agent, I do all of that research with you or for you. But a lot of people like to do it right now before they even come as they're looking at properties. And so you'll find the URLs below. I hope they're helpful. And if you need any help on any of these things, you can always email or text or call. Hey, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.